Hello everyone. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment saying where you're from and when you watched. That way, YouTube will continue to show you stories like this. Now, let's get started. Asterisk, the group, and I took the right turn. The air suddenly became thick, as if an invisible hand was pressing down on our chests. Breathing became labored, and the light from our headlamps was distorted into blurs that didn't reach more than a few feet. The forest changed bit by bit like an automatic maze. The trees grew thicker. The roots curved into rib-like shapes. Each step echoed with an unusual cracking sound, as if we were stepping on things that didn't belong in the forest. I heard the whisper again, but this time it was clearer. No longer vague, but a short, repetitive sentence. Go forward, don't look back, just go straight. Ethan held the compass tightly in his trembling hand, the needle spinning as if hypnotized. Mia kept adding reflective strips. But when we had gone 10 meters, the strips behind had completely disappeared, as if someone had taken them off. Daniel turned to me, his eyes flashing with fear for the first time, but he tried to hide it with a faint smile. I realized that despite their outward appearance, I kept calm, but everyone was quietly panicking. Suddenly, there was a faint smell of smoke, very faint, but enough to remind me of the smell of campfires when camping by the lake in my childhood. The only difference was that this smell of smoke had a metallic taste. We walked faster, and at that moment, a dim light flared up in front of us, like the fire of a small camp. The group stopped. My heart was pounding. If there really was someone camping in this forest, why would they sit in the middle of a dangerous place and not return? We got closer. I saw the shadow of an old, tattered tent, the fabric faded, the poles broken and crooked. In front of the tent was a circle of stones stacked as a stove, but the ashes had long since cooled. Next to it were 3 rotten backpacks, with moss still clinging to them. When I bent down to try to open one, the rusty zipper broke off. Inside was nothing but a damp, tattered notebook with pages stuck together. I flipped through a few lines of scribbled words written in a blue ballpoint pen. The content was almost hopeless, saying that I had gotten lost many times. Day, no longer seeing the exit. The whispering did not let go, and the last line had only 2 large, trembling words: true stories. I handed the notebook to Daniel, his face pale. Ethan suddenly cried out softly when he discovered that underneath the pile of cold ashes there were still a few dry sticks left, but they had been rearranged not long ago. There was no way they would be this rotten if they had been left for many years. That meant that this place had just been touched by someone, or something had just rearranged it. Mia trembled and pointed towards a nearby tree trunk. On the bark were carved many diagonal lines, like day markers. Stopping at the number 47, below there was a deep knife mark, forming an arrow pointing straight to the path we had just passed. No one said anything, but everyone understood that the other group had either disappeared in that very path, or were trying to warn the next person. I suddenly heard a very small laugh, like a child's voice, but coming from deep in the darkness. The whole group stopped breathing. The laughter lasted and then stopped abruptly. We turned around to leave, when we discovered that the torn tent had just disappeared, gone. No trace left but the cold bare ground. Only the notebook in my hand. I stuffed it into my pocket and told everyone to keep going. But in my heart I knew we were being led. The whispering came back, this time more in unison, like many voices, overlapping each other. Keep going. There was so much more to see. I glanced at the recorder. The red light was still flashing, but when it was played back, I could only hear heavy breathing, interspersed with whispering voices, not our footsteps. which meant there were other footsteps coming along. We picked up speed. With each step, the forest seemed to thicken. As the flashlight passed, I caught glimpses of pieces of cloth, old shoes, even broken glass frames stuck in the roots. Evidence of people who had gone before, never returning. Finally, a crack of light appeared, different from the orange light of the tent just now. This crack of light was pale green, like fluorescent light leaking from a crevice in the rocks. We stopped, our hearts pounding. I felt the thin rope tying us into the tree beside him that was shaking slightly, as if someone was pulling at the other end. Daniel asked if he should turn back, but when he looked back, the path turned into thick darkness. There was no more path, no more reflective tape, only a series of vertical tree shadows like a wall. I turned back towards the green light. Although scared but had no choice, I knew that the only way was to move forward, and I also knew that what was waiting for us at that crack of light would not stop at a haunted tent. It was the beginning of another deep level of this maze, and the truth was waiting to be revealed in the next episode.